he kept accusing me of being a Nigerian drug dealer. That was the only time I've had a real heated interaction with police. If it gets physical with a Thai person, oh, you earn that. Like, it takes so much
That's true.
to get Thai people to that point. But when they get to that point, bruh, you don't want to be there because it's not going to go well for you.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the One Night in Bangkok podcast. My name is Eric. I'm all the way from Boston. If you're new here, we're covering all of the best news, events, nightlife, entertainment, culture, everything else that's happening here in Bangkok. Hit the subscribe button. Check us out on Spotify. We also have a brand new nightlife website and app you can check out down below. I'll leave the link down below. If you're looking for the best places to go out in Bangkok, if you want to meet up with some other people and go out together and explore, you can check that out down below. Tonight, I have a returning guest, Erick Prince, Minority Nomad. So you were on one of the very first episodes.
Yep.
And one of the, I would say, the most highly praised episodes. For people that haven't seen it, I think it's called something like What Foreigners Get Wrong About Thailand or something like that. Yeah. And you are someone that's been here for a very long time. How long?
Now 12 years.
12 years.
Over 12 years. Yeah.
So you're an American. You're from Cleveland.
Cleveland, born and raised.
And were you in the Army?
Air Force.
Air Force.
10 and a half years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And real quick, what brought you to Thailand?
Well, it was. I ended up getting sick in Budapest. I remember. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
I got sick in Budapest, and Thailand was actually part of my round the world trip. I had planned to just kind of travel around the world for a year or two, and ended up falling in love with it. I literally, I got sick in Budapest, and instead of staying in Budapest sick, I decided to come somewhere warmer on doctor's orders that I misunderstood, and ended up here, and just absolutely fell in love, not with just Thailand, but Bangkok specifically.
Yeah, and you are another one of those, like, I found Thailand by accident stories.
Yeah, totally by accident.
I feel like we all have something like that.
Yeah, a lot of us, man. Most of us don't plan to be here this long.
Yeah, especially back then, because when we'll talk about this a little bit later, but now back then, there was no social media about Thailand.
There was no digital nomad community in Chiang Mai.
So you really had to find your way into the rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you were just mentioning now you had to put your phone on silent. Everyone's hitting you up for, like, food and beverage related advice. So you were the guy that's at every event, every restaurant, I think you might know this city, the F&B scene in this city better than anyone. So we'll talk about some of that. But first, like, what have you been up to lately? Because I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, we normally run into each other.
We'll run into each other on a randomly, street corner.
Or at a restaurant. Yeah, it's so random. But really the last couple of years, I think it was like 2 years ago we did the last podcast. Yeah. Last 2 years, I've been trying to find my space in Thailand's content creation. While I do focus heavily on F&B, I realized very quickly that everybody's moving to Thailand. Everybody's coming here, and people constantly hit me up and ask me questions. And now I've shifted back into doing more YouTube work. And we were talking about this off camera, helping specifically young brothers move out here. Doing a lot more work in F&B. I just adore working in F&B. It's so much more fun. And still traveling the world, Turkey, Malaysia, went back to the States for a little bit, running around Europe for a few months. So I've still been back on the road, but as of this year, I've been back in Bangkok for a while. I'm actually thinking I might stay in Thailand for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Which is super rare.
Yeah, because I feel like you're a travel guy, but also when you live in Thailand, you're spoiled.
Very much.
You've got some of the world's best locations, like within an hour flight.
Yeah, you get lazy here. Like that's the one of the most dangerous things about living in Thailand is life here is so easy, so accessible that you kind of can stop pushing yourself. You can stop exploring because what else is there to life than this?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are figuring that out now.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the events you've recently been to, because I saw you went to, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the hot chili event.
Oh yeah,
that's
Chili. That's Chili Fest. Chili Fest. That was Chili Fest in April at Kimpton Melai. It's one, and you know what? It's funny you brought this up because I'm working on a list of my favorite annual events here in Thailand. And the things I go to every single year, and Chili Fest happens to be one of those things. It's one of the best festivals. It's a hot chili eating festival. That's what it is. And this year I think I did 1 Carolina Reaper and 2 Ghost Peppers. And yeah, almost killed myself.
I like how you do this for fun. This doesn't sound like a good time.
It's stupid. Every year I say I'm not going to do it, but then my friends do it, and peer pressure, and yeah, that's idiotic. So I just did that. I was just at the launch of a new gin by Saneha. It's the Sanctuary Gin, and the beauty of what they're doing is proceeds from every single bottle sold goes towards wildlife conservation, specifically elephants, wild elephants. I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of wild elephants and locals get hurt because the corridors that they travel through have been developed. Yeah. So now this organization that's working with Saneha Gin, they're trying to find ways to make it a lot more safer for local people as well as elephants. So that launch was recent. Obviously, I did Wonder Fruit as I always do in December, and gearing up for the rest of the festivals this year. So yeah, I've been busy, man.
Okay. How about this for people coming to Thailand from now till the end of the year? Mm-hmm. Can you name like 3 events or places you think they should check out?
Ooh, Wonder Fruit is going to be at the top of the list.
Wonder Fruit Festival in December.
Wonder Fruit Festival in December. We just had Songkran, which maybe we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We just had that. I would say Galleries Night. I think Galleries Night.
What is that?
Galleries Night is with the French Embassy that for 2 nights in Bangkok and 1 night in Bangkok, I believe it is. They open up art galleries throughout the night, and it is phenomenal. It's free. I'm going to say last year it was 110 galleries participating all around the city. They have little maps. They have free tuk-tuks. So they'll have 6 galleries in one area, and instead of walking to them, you can walk to them if you want. They have tuk-tuks that go to each stop. I think last year they did something with Move Me, and that was phenomenal. So that's 2. Let me think of a third one. Man, that's tough. Just to narrow it down to.
Well, like, what are some places you like to go? Like, is there a restaurant or somewhere that's open that you really like?
Oh, man. Anything at, Transport. The Transport crew. And this is something about festival people, right? I'm in my 40s now. So you're not going to catch me really necessarily at EDCs or Tomorrowlands. I might go, but that's not necessarily my vibe. I prefer a more laid back, relaxed, very, very auditory focused community. And Transport Festival, and I'm going to say is Brent from Bangkok Community Radio. They put it on, I want to say 3 a year, like 2 or 3 a year. And when you go to that, it is the greatest collection of local music fans. Like everybody there is there for the music and the community. And it's a phenomenal. They do it out at Chang Chui. They've done some in the city center, but Chang Chui is Transport's spiritual home.
Okay. Like what's crazy is when you name this stuff, I mean, I knew Wonder Fruit, but a lot of the stuff you name, I've been here 7 years. I have no idea.
And that's why I want to make the list. Like, because I post this on my Instagram all the time, but this is something that I'm relearning again. I constantly forget Instagram isn't necessarily searchable. Like it's not evergreen content like say YouTube is. Yeah. So if I put together a playlist on my YouTube channel that's activities to do in Thailand, people can go and see all of those things listed, right? I don't have that right now, so I can't give it to you. But all this stuff is literally just in my head and just stuff that I know every single year that I'm going to attend and participate in. So what I want to do is create a resource for the people who are looking for alternative things to do here. And one of the issues that I'm seeing a lot of these new social media influencers and expats having is they're bored now. They don't know what to do outside of the checklist that somebody else made for them yet. But this country has so much to offer, so many amazing, phenomenal events across the country that people don't even try. Like Molam music, just Molam music. Just do that. Just explore Molam festivals where nobody speaks English, and it'll blow your mind because the music is what pulls people in. Like Paradise Bangkok, phenomenal band. They blend funk, soul, and Thai melodies into something magical and mythical. I saw a TikToker recently who just discovered, is a brother out of Atlanta who just discovered Molam music. And his mind was blown. He's like, what is this? And I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, Isan people invited to the barbecue every time because they move exactly the same way we do when it comes to music.
Yeah, we talked about this last time about the Isan people of Thailand and why they're interesting.
My favorite people still, man.
Yeah.
Another recommendation, J Bank at M-Sphere.
J Bank.
Yeah, J Bank. So Chef Bank, you know Aram Kwam?
Yes.
So the head chef from Aram Kwam is Chef Bank. So he opened up J Bank at top floor M-Sphere. If you go, say, Thursday night, especially Friday and Saturday night, man, that entire floor is a party. Like, and it's one of the most affordable restaurants. Like, you'll spend less than 1,000 baht and be totally fine there.
Wow.
Like, it is one of the very few places that I'm like, you have to go. If you want to experience Isan cuisine, J Bank at M-Sphere right now.
All right, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
I saw on your YouTube recently, you started doing like I don't know what you call it, but like a series directed at people that are coming to Thailand or new to Thailand. And correct me if I'm wrong. Are you specifically like targeting African American people? Is that right?
So yes and no. Okay. So this is what happened. My original idea, because I got tired of people fucking up, like just doing things stupid. And after engaging with them, I realized, oh, you just don't know what you don't know. Nobody's teaching you. Nobody's telling you how things really are, showing you how things are. So instead of complaining about it in comment sections, I said, let me create content for you. Let me solve the problem myself. So I started 2 series at the same time, which was my mistake. One was directed at African-American Black men, and another one was expats overall. And I literally tried to do them parallel to each other. One thing I realized was I started to get bored creating the content because for the African-American men, 80% of it is the same advice I would give anybody else. It's not.
Yeah, that's a good point, because one of the first videos I saw pop up was about, you did a video about like what happens if you get stopped by the police. Here's what you need to know. And the way you were talking was like, if you're talking to like African American guys, but I'm watching it thinking like this, I think I might have even commented this, like this applies to anyone.
Everybody. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the big thing. It's just, I'm a black face. That's it. And I know how to speak to other young brothers. So when you say it versus when I say it, it carries more weight because I'm a black man. And there are certain ways that we say things, we phrase things, and things that we have to deal with, and we understand that you wouldn't necessarily understand. It's the same thing when women say that, hey, this is what I have to do, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't have to deal with that little 20%, but the rest of what you're saying, I get it, right? So I decided, and honestly, when I was writing the scripts and looking at them, they're very similar. But I'm like, okay, these can't run parallel because A, I'm going to get bored doing it. And B, it's splitting the audience. So I'm now focusing on young black men, and then I'm going to switch back over into just expats in general. Because when I create content, and a good friend called me out on this years ago, he goes, hey man, why do you only make content for black people? Like, I don't. And he was like, well, it's a minority nomad, and you talk about being black. And I go, yeah, but I am black. But that doesn't mean everything I say is about black or being black. I have a rule on my blog, my website, when I pitch clients. For every piece of race-based content or identity content, I have to do 3 pieces of content that's universal. Because I never want to be pigeonholed into this, oh, Erick Prince, the black creator. I'm clearly black, but we're so much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you before I had this podcast, I was following you on Instagram just because I thought what you were posting is interesting. So,
and I think most people do that. If you diversify your algorithm, your feed, right, and you look at content from people who don't look or sound like you, you're going to start to realize that we're all pretty much saying the same thing. There's only 3 things that actually matter in life: food, family, and faith. Those 3 things pretty much line up across cultures, dynamics, no matter what. So for me to listen to your content, 80% of it is going to apply to me anyway. But it's that 20% that you have to seek out niche people and identity. It's like, hey, my experience as a black man, and this is the criticism I've been getting from white dudes, is, oh, well, this could be for anybody. Like, why are you posting this? Like, yeah, but I'm talking to young black men about this right now. Like, that's...
No, I get it, because certain people, I think, will be more likely to listen to you than to listen to me, and vice versa.
Yeah, and women and women are a great example. Like most of my content can apply to women, but if a woman delivers it, okay, it's gonna carry more weight when it's coming from her.
So let's talk about this video I saw where you talked about getting stopped by the police.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of my first weeks in Thailand when I came here, I was riding in a taxi with someone down Sukhumvit Road, and the taxi just pulled over, and a police officer opened the door and told me to get out.
Yep.
And I was like, what is going on here? I was freaked out. And the thing that really freaked me out was then he just reached and put his hands in my pocket. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I thought, are they looking for someone or like what? But the person I was with, this was totally normal to them. So I was like, this is so weird. And then I noticed during COVID, after COVID, a lot more of these checkpoints started happening.
Hi guys, I just want to let you know that we just launched NIGHTLIFE.com. It's a brand new website that shows you the best nightclub, bars, and rooftop in Bangkok. Whether you are visiting Bangkok for the first time or you're living here for a long time already, NIGHTLIFE.com is your tool for finding the best nightlife spots in the city. Click a link below or scan this QR code to check it out and let me know what you think. Now let's get back to the episode.
Somebody actually commented on one of my videos, and I'll have a reply to this comment on Wednesday. And I'm paraphrasing this. It goes, hey, man, if you have to deal with racism out there, why even go? At least in America, you have rights and you can possibly do something about it. And I'm paraphrasing this. And my reply is, this had nothing to do with racism necessarily. This had to do with how the police or traffic laws are applied here to everybody. I just so happen to be a black man. And this is something that people refuse to acknowledge, is there's a lot of instances here where you'll get waved through and I'll get stopped because I am black. This isn't some subjective thing. This is verified by the police. Also the fact that I get pulled over 3 times a week on a low end, given where I live. And you know where I live. I live right between 2 junctions now. So where I live, I have to deal with this police station and that police station. And I'm at a point where they'll see, when I pull my helmet off, they'll see who I am and they'll just wave me off. And sometimes they'll just pull me over, pat check me, go in my pockets. I'm in a taxi, get out of the car, check my bag, and then go on. So they're looking for 2 things. Number 1 is people who are violating, like people who are riding without helmets, who don't have licenses. And the second thing is drugs. Pretty plain and simple. And vapes. I'm telling you guys now, do not get caught with a vape here because you will pay a minimum 10,000 baht fine on the spot. I've seen it 6 times in the past 2 months. 10,000 baht on the spot for a vape, right? Extremely illegal here.
Yeah, so explain this a little bit, because I understand like Westerners that come here and this doesn't make sense to them because 1, they'll say, what's the big deal? Vapes are everywhere in my country. And 2, they see vapes being sold on the street. So how can this be a big deal with the police?
Thailand, TIT, man. This is Thailand. Just the way it goes. Thailand is, and this is one thing that people have to understand when they come here. Thailand is a gray area country. There's legal, illegal, and gray. Everything else here is gray. Like if I went up and stabbed somebody, clearly illegal. But if I went up and slapped somebody, for the right price is gray. That's just how it works.
This is a very important point that I try to explain to people that are newer here, that the gray area is a very dangerous area because people will look and say, well, this person did this person did that. Which could be true, but that doesn't mean if you do it, it'll be okay.
Exactly, because me and you operate on a very different scale. Like there's things that you can do that I can't, and I can do that you can't. It's race, it's nationality, it's socioeconomic status, it's neighborhood, it's who you happen to know. And this isn't unique to Thailand. I don't want anybody thinking it's unique to Thailand. The only reason it impacts us is because we can play the game here. We can afford to participate. The same thing happens in the West. We just complain about it, calling it, Nepo babies and millionaire-sized elite 1%. They operate in this exact same place. We just so happen to be in a place where we can navigate and understand this. We get to see it with our own eyes, right? So for me, when I look at these checkpoints, It's the cost of being an expat here. It's the expat tax. Now, to my reply for that gentleman about racism, for me, you say in the U.S. you have rights. Rights are more than something that's just written on the Constitution. Rights are lived experiences. So in the U.S., if I get pulled over by a cop in Boston, let's go with Boston.
Okay.
If I get pulled over by a cop in Boston, there is a chance that interaction is going to go south, even if I didn't do anything wrong. If the police officer's having a bad day, I'm having a bad day, he sees something he thought he saw, something got said, it can go terribly wrong. Here in Thailand, it's a 0% chance that that's going to happen, that I'm going to be physically violated. I'm going to be disrespected. I have never had an instance, 99.9% of the experience I've had with police, extremely kind. There's been one time that I got into an argument with a police officer. Also, do not get in arguments with police officers. I was just new and young here. He kept accusing me of being a Nigerian drug dealer. And we were going back and forth. And thank God he had a young partner who spoke perfect English. And we kind of talked through it and they let me go. That was the only time I've had a real heated interaction with police. Every other time, most likely they want to check your muscles. Like I've had so many,
I never get that one.
I had more police officers squeeze my biceps and ask me about my workout routine than who've been rude to me. That's just the tax of living here. So if you want to compare, say, America and here, America where I can, I'm going to take you to court, I'm going to sue you, versus here, it was like, oh, okay, see you later. I'm taking here every single time. I'll take my rights here over my rights back home right now, any day of the week.
Okay. So, to wrap up this police checkpoint thing, if people have never been through this, they'll just pull over every car, or every taxi, or every car with a foreigner, and they're looking for like illicit things. Yeah. And they can just stop you and check your pockets and check. I've had my shoes checked.
It's legal here. It is absolutely legal here.
So, but your advice is good. Like, don't argue. Just be polite. If you can speak some Thai. That helps like relieve the pressure.
Be boring. Yeah. I make this point in my video.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Make it the most boring experience they have ever had in their life. Don't raise your voice. Don't be rude or disrespectful. You smile at them. You might even crack some jokes. Like you do everything that they say to make it as boring as possible. Because if you escalate it, they'll escalate it further. And it becomes this ego thing. But if you can just smile through it, and then, after you get away from them, you can vent all you want. You can let that out. But in that moment, you have to understand the goal is to get out of that situation safely. And a lot of people don't realize that. Your rights here, your rights kind of stop the moment you hit that wall of authority.
Yeah. It is interesting sometimes who they choose to stop and when and how, because I think a lot of foreigners would say like, oh, they only target foreigners, which I'm not saying that's never happened in any place ever, but I've seen many times where they let foreigners through, they don't bother them, but they stop Thai people.
Absolutely. And also Burmese and Cambodia.
Sure.
And it's in my area. I did this one day, specifically stood up on the top to just observe, and I was up there for maybe 15 minutes, and a vast majority of the foreigners were passed through, but they were stopping pretty much every young Thai or Burmese looking guy. Every single one was getting stopped, off their bike, checked inside. Like they were specifically looking for them that time. And I've seen it. So I will happily say this, that they stop locals way more than they stop us.
Well, I'm riding a motorcycle now. For like the last year, I've been riding a bike in Bangkok. And people warn me like, oh, you're probably going to have problems with the police. Because, foreign guy on a sports bike, whatever. And I have to say that really hasn't been true.
No, it's not true.
So I went through a DUI checkpoint once where they were stopping literally everybody. They pull you over, and the police guy was really polite, and another police guy came over with, I thought it was a flash. I didn't even know what it was. It looked like a flashlight, and he said, bro. And I was like, bro? I was like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? And I was like, and he's like, bro. And I was like, bro, like, yeah, hey, bro. Like, I didn't know what he was saying. He was saying blow into the breathalyzer. I didn't even know it was a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
So, and then they just breathalyzed me, and then they send me on my way, but like a machine. So that was one time. And then I think that might have been the only time I was stopped on my bike. Another time I've driven through police checkpoints, and they look at me and they just let me go.
Yeah.
So I have to say, it's not a lot of the things that people assume are not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah. So I thought your video was interesting when you were talking about this police checkpoint thing. You mentioned you were kind of talking to like young black men.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I wanted to ask you about is when I first came to Thailand 7 years ago, I almost never saw black guys. Almost never. Like to the point where I would think like, are they even here? Where are they? The only time I saw them was I went to Sugar Club for the first time.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, oh, here they are.
Yeah, I found them.
Yeah. This was like a long time ago. But since COVID, I've seen way more and black women from America.
Oh, yeah, we roll deep now.
From America. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think has changed? Or why has this been this, like, what has all of a sudden motivated, like, this community from America to start traveling all the way to Asia? Because it never used to be this way.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I would even go before COVID, I would say closer to 2 years. I would say it's been the last real 2 years. I think people during COVID started to recognize the opportunity, right? Many of us have been here kind of waving the flag for African-American expats, you know, here, Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico City, Spain, Portugal, even Bali. Bali, I would say Bali has a bigger community than here now. And, you know, people weren't necessarily in a socioeconomic position to make that move, to make that change. And during COVID, the US, a lot of companies went to the remote work. A lot of people, you know, we have a hustle culture. African Americans, everybody has a side hustle. And everybody started to realize my side hustle can finance a lifestyle abroad. Because realistically, the United States is one of the most ridiculously expensive places on the planet Earth to live. So people go, oh, I can cut my expenses in half and live the same or better lifestyle in Thailand. Sign me up. And once that concentration of content hit during COVID, because people were seeing what we were doing, and you know, people like myself, Onika the Traveler, Chubby Diaries, like Travis Levias, this massive group of African American global travelers creating content around the world, they see our content and realize, hey, these guys, because we're not special, we aren't special like unicorns. We just so happen to be black and we travel around the world. So this is an example of representation matters, because we've been seeing white people do it, traveling around the world, living abroad. You know, when you finally start to see people who look like you, who sound like you feel like you can do it. So when that saturation point happened during COVID, people started hitting us up in our DMs like, hey, what's the visa situation like? What's the racism like? And these are conversations we have in our group chats, in our private communities, Facebook groups, Reddit. All these are conversations that have been happening for years. And Thailand shot to the top of the list when they got the DTV. So the DTV changed everything for us here, because it made it. And this is why you see a lot of the issues that we see now, like the whole Songkran stuff.
Okay, let me pause for a second. So DTV is Destination Thailand Visa.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is, before, if you wanted to come to Thailand, you basically only could get a tourist visa, which would be like 90 days maximum at a time. Whereas the DTV is, let's say 6 months at a time, but you can come in and out for 5 years, to put it simply. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's a longer term visa that's pretty easy to get.
It's insanely easy to get. So when you have that, and I even said this years ago, I'm like, look, even if you plan to only be here 2 years, get the DTV, because Thailand is a perfect place to figure it out. So you had so many African Americans coming out here as tourists. And this was my thing. Do not move to Thailand on a whim. Come here for a month or two and see if you enjoy it. And so many people from our community came out here and they saw what we lived, what we experienced, because, you know, being a tourist and being a local are two very different experiences. So when they come out here for a month or two and receive genuine love and appreciation, don't have to deal with the same racism and bigotry back home. Don't have to deal with the same high prices for everything back home. Don't have to deal with the same safety issues that we have to back home. And let's be clear, when I'm talking about safety issues, I'm not just talking about from, the police and everything. I'm talking about from people within our community.
I was actually, when you were saying that, I was actually just thinking that.
Yeah, like other African American, like the numbers don't lie. Like most assaults against people of color are other people of color, and it's just a proximity thing. So when you have an opportunity to leave that abusive and dangerous environment for a life in a place that's, comparatively better in every single way, people jumped on it. And now you're seeing people build real community here and helping each other and figuring out ways that they can stay here long term. Now, I don't believe this is going to last, but for right now, it's pretty good.
What do you mean it's not going to last?
I think we are in a cycle. And I think people are starting to realize you can't just show up here and do whatever you want. A lot of people were coming out here feeling like they can show up and they can make a living, they can start a business, they can do all these things. Like, no, most of you can't make money in Thailand. Most of you can't make enough money to save in Thailand. So unless you have one of these mythical online jobs, your time here is limited. A year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, I see this a lot where people want to make a move. Maybe they save some money. Mm-hmm. They leave they come for a year, 6 months, a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then
they get here. Get here and realize it's not all rainbows and sunshines, because Thailand's amazing, but it does have its drawbacks depending on who you are. Like the negatives of Thailand are very subjective. So if you come here and you want to start a hair salon, for example, and this is an example in my community,
you hear that a lot, really? I hear that, and that sounds like an awful idea.
It's a terrible idea. So there's a gap in the market here for braiders. Like African American women love braids, Black women love braids, and we have a very different hair. We have a very different texture hair. Sure. So a lot of and again, I want to say cosmetology is one of those protected jobs that a foreigner can't
there's
get.
Some jobs in Thailand that
I believe it's 20. I think it's a list of 20. It might be 40. But yeah, there's a list, and it's one of those.
It's restricted that only Thai people can do.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of the Thai, and there are some phenomenal Thai braiders and hairstylists, but a majority of them cannot do black hair. This is why I like Barber Max, right? He's a Thai American, grew up in Baltimore, and he has Be More Cuts and Be More Barbers. And he cuts black hair. If you go over there, everybody's black. Most of his clientele are black because our hair is different, right? The sister came out here and she started a salon in Pattaya specifically. She started a salon and got busted and got in trouble because you can't do that, right? So she had to go back home, and I don't know what she's up to these days, but that's the thing out here. You see it in Pattaya all the time. Brothers come here, they start a go-go bar or a normal bar or a restaurant, and it doesn't last because they don't understand how business actually works here. And I honestly think we only have a few more years left. Not to mention, I think that DTV, they're going to make it way harder to get.
I agree with that.
It's way too easy now, and it's too many problems. Like people are causing too many problems. I finally, for the first time, saw a video of black dudes fighting security at Sugar in Phuket.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
I was like, shit. It was only a matter of time, but I was enjoying us not being on camera. But
let's talk about this. Yeah. So I wasn't going to name the place, but whatever.
Sugar Phuket, yeah.
So there was a video that was circulating with, I honestly couldn't even tell who was in the video, but it was a fight happening in Phuket. Do you know the backstory, or?
I know a little bit of the backstory. So it was an issue over the bill, and somebody felt like they were being disrespected. Pushing and shoving happened. Security got involved. These two young brothers, they started throwing hands at whoever was moving. They ended up getting arrested. They paid the fine, and then they got out the next day.
I see.
Yep.
But which, things happen, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing from this was the reaction online.
Oh yeah.
So what happened?
Well, it was racist. It was flat out clear racist. I'm actually really, really impressed and proud of Sugar and their ownership group for coming out and be like, hey, no, this isn't our black customers have always been kind and gracious and welcoming and rarely caused any kind of problems. This was like a one-off thing that happened. And, people were in the just comments just being disgusting bigots. Yeah. We saw the same thing during Songkran when the videos came out, and basically European/French people were saying, oh, those aren't real French people. They're French Arabs, those people. And I'm like, and this is something we've known. If you've lived here long enough as a person, as a person of color, you know about the deep-seated racism and bigotry in the expat community here. Like they are, man, that's why we call them the forum assholes. Like we stay out of the forums because of these guys. They are so many racist bigots. It seems they moved over to TikTok and Instagram now because that's where people are. And you go to anything that has anything to do with foreigners, and if it's a foreigner of color.
Well, I see this with every group in Thailand. Like Indians, for example. Anytime any Indian does anything, people go off about Indians, every bad thing about Indians. Same with Russians, Israeli, any group. In fact, I think the only group I don't hear that much about generally is Americans. And I think I'll even see like British guys always get into a fight in Pattaya, and us Americans, I guess, stay out of trouble most of the time.
Well, but it's not that many of us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like you really, if you compare, and I would love to see the numbers now.
Yeah,
I think we're probably like the lowest Western group
because it's so far.
It's too far. Yeah, it's too far for us.
But I know what you mean. Like, and when people are online, they feel like they can just say anything. They would never say it to your face,
bro.
And the comment you made about like Sugar came out and made a statement, and actually it's absolutely true because
I've never seen anybody else do it.
Their whole, I mean, not their whole, but a large part of their demographic, they're African Americans or wherever for Africans from, and you never really see these kinds of videos. It's just
never happens.
It's the first time I can remember.
This was the first time I had, and all of this time in years here, and again, it happens in the clubs. Now, granted, I've been in the clubs where fights broke out. But they're club fights, like pop, over. It's done.
But this kind of thing happens with every group.
Every group.
Yeah.
Go to an Irish pub here. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It happens with every group. But it's, and I'll say this might be controversial, man. I don't want to get in no trouble in your comments, man. It feels like conservative white dudes here are not happy unless they're talking shit about somebody. And when I say conservative white dudes, I mean the people who are back home being racist assholes then. The same exact people that we've been fighting against our entire lives. The people who see us as less than, who see a black man and assume he's a criminal, who sees an Indian guy and assumes he's illegal. Like those kind of people have moved here, and not even have moved here. They've always been here. We've seen them forever. We generally ignore them, because we don't have to engage with them here. Back home, you have to, because you work with them, you go to school with them, you interact with them as police officers. Out here, you don't necessarily have to. But now they've decided to start transitioning into the online communities and spaces where they specifically target and go after people, because here, the consequences are nothing for them. Because back home, you might lose your job, you might get punched in the face. Like there are rules against it. But out here, they don't. I've seen these dudes say the most disgustingly bigoted shit in front of Thai people, and because they're in a position of economic power, Thai people don't check their asses. They don't get checked about it. Nobody says anything, and we're all like, "How can you sit in a country where you are a guest and behave this way? A place that's opened its arms to you and say this thing about these people?" And I can already hear people typing in your comment section, brother, but this is something that I get frustrated with my white expat friends here for not talking about, for not checking it. Because I'm like, there's no way in hell y'all don't see these comments. There's no way you don't hear this stuff and you don't say anything. So it's up to us to go at them. Like, look at your video. Look at our lad's video that we did together, and people were posting racist BS in that last video that we did. And people were calling it out. I said some stuff. Look at the videos that I did talking about the police stop. people just sliding in there, just saying casual racist stuff. And I understand being online, you have to deal with it. But when it gets to a point where people are not allowed to defend themselves, that's when I get a problem with it. That's when I have an issue with it. Because you don't know the backstory of what happened in that video. You don't know the backstory of that person. You do not know enough to paint an entire group as bigoted. I mean, not like as thieves or illegals or suspects. The same way we can't paint all white guys as bigoted because some assholes online are saying some bigoted racist stuff. And I'm like, you guys have, man, you know I got love for you, brother. But you guys are blessed with the power of anonymity. You can be anonymous. You can go in a club and act an ass and be anonymous. I don't have that privilege because if I go in a club, I stand out. And it feels like these guys feel the power of being anonymous online and they can say and do whatever they want. And speaking on my own behalf, it's frustrating because I know people of color are going to see that, some people of color, and be discouraged and be afraid and say, why would I go over there? Just like the brother commenting on the racism. Why would I go all the way to Thailand and deal with the same bullshit that I dealt with at home? And that's what scares me about these guys. Like I said, they would never say it to your face. Like people run up on, I'm sure they run up on you all the time in public. They run up on me all the time in public. Not one of these motherfuckers has ever said anything to me in person. And and I ain't trying to be no tough guy. I'm just like, please do. Because I would love to have this conversation in person. But they want to stay online, you know?
Yeah, nobody that has something bad to say ever wants to talk in person. Just behind a keyboard and a screen.
Oh, yeah. Now, when it comes to food, they'll come up on me. Like, this is one thing I am impressed with about expats and Thai people. If I say something about food that they love or disagree with, they'll say something to me in person about it.
Okay.
They'll definitely check me about it. But when it comes to like race and community stuff, they ain't saying much.
So let's talk about this shifting demographic that's coming to Thailand.
Yeah.
Because like I think I mentioned to you, we've been here a while. There's definitely been a change in the type of people that are coming here and the way they're acting. And when I first started seeing a lot of these videos popping up of, it's like mostly you see in Phuket or Pattaya. Yeah, those are like the two main places, or the islands maybe. You see a lot more foreigners getting in trouble, doing bad things. I thought, it's not really more. It's just that now everybody's filming it and posting it on TikTok or whatever. Now I actually think it is more. And after thinking about it, I think the reason is because in the old days, and by old days, I mean like, let's just say pre-COVID, okay? I know everybody has their idea of what the old days were, but there wasn't nearly as much social media, or maybe none, depending on when you came. So if you came to Thailand, you had to be a certain kind of person. You had to be open to like new experiences, new cultures. You had to be open to learning. And I feel like now, because everything is so easy, it's easy to be here. It's easy to open up TikTok and watch a 30-second reel about why you should go here. Anybody is just getting on the plane and coming. And because of that, there's like a different type of person coming. And I think that's where a lot of the friction is. What do you think about that?
I think it's multifaceted. I think your thesis is part of it. I also think that there's a saturation of content. There's just a lot more content, so it's a lot easier for people of all walks of life to explore more. I think in the West you have a lot of negativity. The Trump administration in the past, now plus his first administration, people are frustrated and tired, and they just want a little sunshine here and there. So people are seeking that out. Like, and again, this is marketing 101. Thailand has been marketed as paradise for decades. It's this land of smiles and happiness and positivity, and everything's great. This is what the marketing was for Thailand. The international flights are significant. They're a lot easier to get. And I think you are absolutely correct in that the type of person has changed, because the pre-COVID, Thailand's now 3-4 visits. That's, I've been there, done that kind of thing. now you're getting the people who've never really been anywhere else. I remember, have you been to Europe yet since we talked?
No.
See, like this blew my mind even back then. I was like, how the hell have you not been to Europe yet, right? But that's also my Eurocentric American brain that you go from the U.S. to Europe. That's like the pipeline, or Mexico, like in the Caribbean. And meeting so many people who've not been anywhere else and who just move here, I'm like, what are you doing? How have you not going anywhere else, but you decided to move to the other side of the planet, right? And we have made it, those of us who create content for a living and trying to inspire and help people travel around the world, we did our job way too well, where a lot of people feel like they know. Like that's what it is. People, I know what Thailand is. Never been there, but I know because I watch every episode of One Night in Bangkok. Yeah. I watch every episode of Minority Nomad.
That's a really good point.
And I watch everything that Patty Doyle puts out or Gary Butler puts out. I know all the street food spots or Mark Weens. Like our content makes them feel like they're right next to us. And it's by design. That's why we do what we do, right? But what we didn't see coming was waves of people who only understand what's on social media, who only seek out what's on social media. They don't understand what it's like to walk from Tonglo to Punawati. Like they don't understand what walking in knee-high water feels like after you get off work in a suit. They don't understand getting pulled over by the police just because. So I think you have that, but you also have people growing up in a generation with no rules or boundaries or barriers or anybody to check them. When I looked at those videos coming out of Songkran with those kids just being out of pocket.
So you're talking about during Songkran, there was a video that was going around.
Several videos.
The one I'm thinking of, I think it was in Phuket, where there was a van driver, a Thai van driver, and he was surrounded by people. And, in Songkran, people will like shoot water at the cars and stuff. I think that's pretty normal. But the difference was he got out and they soaked him and then they soaked the inside of the van.
Vehicle. They opened the doors and started shooting through the van. And looking at that video, those aren't people in their 30s and 40s. Those are 20 somethings. Like I go to Muscle Factory Gym, and the number of 20 somethings that I meet who've moved out here, it's baffling. I'm like, how are you 24 living here? There's a young brother who moved out here at 18. He just moved here with no plan, no job, just moved here to figure it out. And I'm like, they haven't even learned life. And I'm not trying to be a grumpy unk, right? I know plenty of 16-year-olds who are more mature than 40-somethings. But I think when you move to a new place with an entirely different culture, a different set of rules, you have to at least have some life experience. You have to have some information on how to behave. This is why Songkran would never work in America. Could you imagine Songkran in Boston?
Yeah.
Like that's why it doesn't work, because and one of the things that this service that we're doing as content creators, we're not explaining these things enough. The true meaning of what Songkran actually is. It's a rebirth. It's a reset.
Well, if you go back several episodes, I think Ern and I covered Songkran.
Okay, there you go. Good plug. Good plug. And I'm like, hey, if you're going to come here for this, you have to understand this side as well. Please understand this side. And this is why I want to do a lot more content getting away from Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Pattaya, the islands, and engaging in Thai culture in a way that people can truly understand what it means to be here and have respect for it. What you see happening in Phuket is because Phuket's not Thai. Phuket is Western. It's Europe.
Very good point.
Like the Thai people who live on Phuket, generally speaking, work there. Like they're part of the tourism industry for the most part. Phuket has fully engaged tourism. This is why those people behave that way. And this is where I get a little heat from Thai people by saying this. I put some of the blame on Thai people because Thai people have not been checking us the way we need to be checked. this is your country. You need to stop us from being idiots here. If somebody's doing something wrong, say something. When there's a content creator, I believe her name is Mook, and she does phenomenal stuff. And she was one of the first people I saw openly calling out foreigners about their behavior. There was the young brother who he ended up getting fired, I believe, who was stopping people at Maya Bay, the Marine, I believe it was a Marine officer. When people were going in the water, when they were saying don't go in the water, he was getting on them and fining them. And I believe he ended up getting fired or dismissed for something he shouldn't have, because he was going after tourists. And
are you saying this is sorry, who is this guy? He was a Thai guy or
a Thai guy?
A Thai guy that was a Marine officer.
I will look it up.
Okay.
And when you do your editing, you can find this guy because he's not hard to find. Like just Google a young Thai Marine officer find tourists.
But he was like one of those national park ranger guys.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly who he was. He was like on a boat and on the sand. He was like, hey, you can't go there. You can't do that.
In Maya Bay, you're no longer allowed to go into the water. You can go like, I think up to your knees or something.
And finding people, doing his job.
Yeah.
And, people were, and he was getting people like, hey, no, you can't do that. People are arguing. I'm like, no. This is Thailand. This is the law here. You have to follow the law here. And you gotta watch what you say. We gotta watch what you say here sometimes. But I have found that unfortunately, a lot of times when Thai people stand up to tourists, the Thai person, the image of Thailand being this amazing place we can come and do whatever we want gets put above what's actually right.
So you think the Thai people don't say something because they're worried about the reputation of Thailand? Okay.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you. Thai people don't say something, but I don't think
save face culture.
See, it's that. It's the social harmony aspect of the culture. Like I told a story I should have saved the story for when I was with you, because I think you were the right person to comment on it. But I was in Urban Music Bar, which is all Thai people. I was the only foreigner there. And a group of African Americans came in. And I was really surprised because they were clearly tourists. I could just tell by the way they were talking and acting. And they didn't get a table. But they took over this place like they owned it. And they were clearly disturbing the Thai people to the point where like two of the women just walked behind the DJ booth. Like I'm thinking, in what universe do you just walk into a club and like go behind the DJ? And the Thai people I can see are very conflicted. They don't know how to deal with this. Because if this was in America, you'd have security there in a second being like, get your,
not even the waitress would get on you.
Yeah. But they don't say anything. And so I felt like, as not only a Westerner, but an American, maybe I should help. So I tapped the woman. I said, excuse me. I literally said, excuse me, would you mind giving us a little bit of space? Because they were literally like bumping into these, little Thai people. And the woman turned around and was like, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. And she's giving me attitude. And I'm trying to help her out because she's embarrassing herself and me by, association. And eventually they ended up getting kicked out. Eventually. But normally when I see these kinds of, and by the way, it's any kind of foreigner this could happen with. Normally what I see is the foreigners are so blissfully unaware of their behavior.
Right.
And the Thai people just put up with it. And then at some point, something snaps.
Yep.
And then they may get just kicked out, or it may turn into a big thing. And the interesting thing that I see happen here a lot is, it won't just be like, you got kicked out, you got removed. It might be like, okay, now 10 of these security guys or 10 of these people are like in your face fighting you. It's like a weird pattern here.
Well, it's the escalation. I think it's the buildup. And this is what I've always said. If a Thai person, if it gets physical with a Thai person, oh, you earn that. Like it takes so much to get Thai people to that point. But when they get to that point, bruh, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there because it's not going to go well for you. And I think that, and that's sad. It's sad that it even has to get to that point because all it took was for one person one member of that staff to go and say, hey, could you not do this? Or could you chill out? Or and usually, but oh, my bad. I didn't know. I didn't understand it. And I think it's okay to not know. It's fine to not know, but we have to find this balance where, and honestly, people are like, well, how didn't they not know that? It's a different country. Why would they know that? Why would they know the social norms in an entirely different place necessarily?
Well, see, that's a good point, but I kind of disagree with you because I find myself sometimes in places that it might be like all Thai places, right? Like I was in an all Thai kind of nightclub the other night. And by all Thai, I mean there's 500 people there and my friend and I are the only non-Thai people. And when I'm in a place like this, I am super careful to just I don't even look in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I stand there with my hands by my sides.
I've seen you.
And I'm just
like, man, you look mad awkward, man.
And I'm just like, at least at the beginning, until they see like, oh, this guy's not going to come in and do like some
like
weird shit.
Yeah.
But that's why when I was in this situation at Urban and I saw these people come in and they're just so ignorant, like I can, in some places, maybe the way they were acting is like more normal. But in this kind of place, in Ekamai, which is a very Thai area, it's so out of place.
Read the room.
Yeah, exactly. That's the room. What do you think of, like, I don't, okay, I do know of some places like this, but what do you think of places that say, we don't allow foreigners or we don't allow Westerners?
Okay, good.
Before I came to Thailand, I would be like, oh, that's so wrong, blah, 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 blah. But now I kind of get it.
Man, there's plenty, you know what, and two things, right? So I just did a video, I posted it last night, about you, to a young black man, you represent more than yourself, right? I represent every young black man that a Thai person has not met yet, right? So we have to carry ourselves a certain way. And in this video, I make this, I lay this out. I am not telling you to turn down who you are. You can still be excited because this is culture to us. We're loud, we're energetic, this is what people also love about us. This is, Thai people love black people because we're Beyonce, we're LeBron James, we're Obama. Like we that energy, that Chris Tucker energy, right? That's who we are. That's part of who we are. You can be authentically yourself, but you can also respect the space that you're in. We call it code switching. When I'm at a black cookout, I behave differently than I am in a boardroom. When I was just at the LSA Foodie Awards. I was the only black person there. It was me, all Thai people, and other white people, Europeans, white Americans. I cannot behave the same way that I would if everybody else was black. Does that make sense?
It 100% makes sense.
So, and I didn't have to turn down who I was at all. I just had to adjust to what was respectful in that space. And obviously I've lived here a long time, but it's the same as if I'm in Turkey or if I'm in Germany or if I'm in Costa Rica. I adjust based on the room because I'm an experienced traveler. And earlier we were talking about this. The problem we're having now is you have so many new travelers who have never been anywhere who just show up because they feel like they know and they've seen it. So if you follow a young African-American dude in Thailand, most of his content is going to be at Sugar Club or or at Bathros or turning up chasing girls. So he's like, oh, he's bringing that same energy there. Let me show up and bring that same energy. It works in some places, but a majority of places it doesn't. And this is why it's so important to audit these content creators. To see, I'm like, wait a minute, what else is going on here? What else is he doing? If he's only showing this stuff, what is happening off camera? What else is going on? Is this acceptable behavior? Is this okay? And I think, unfortunately, a lot of African Americans, a lot of us are baby travelers. We're new because historically we didn't have the socioeconomic privilege or power to actually explore the world in a way where we can pass these lessons down from generation to generation, right? So I'd say the last 20 years, we've only really been traveling the world for the last 20 years. And of course, we've been traveling globally for generations, but as African Americans, it's only been about 20 to 25 years that we've been exploring the world freely the way that we do now. So to your second question, when I see places, and Japan's good for this. I was stationed in Japan when I was in the Air Force. I'd be like, oh, no servicemen. There's a reason behind that. And so often people go, oh, that's not fair. Okay. Life isn't fair. It's not fair that servicemen were going into places, start getting drunk and starting fights against locals. And locals didn't have a space where they can feel comfortable and safe to have a good night out. And this goes back to the video I just made. I'm like, you represent more than yourself. You represent everybody who comes after you. So for people to be like, oh, well, no foreigners here. There were some foreigners who came before you who messed it up for you. So I'm not mad at locals when they say stuff like that or do things like that. I'm upset at the people who came before me who ruined it for me.
Yeah. What you said about meeting someone like you represent now every Black person they're going to meet after that. And I think to maybe a lesser extent, it can be the same with me in certain situations.
Absolutely.
Like I mentioned, I went to this club the other night with my friend, all Thai people. I was at my best behavior. I made it a point to meet the manager. Oh, what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. And, we have a bottle there. So I'll definitely be back a second time. And I'm sure the next time we can maybe be a little more relaxed. But that's definitely something I'm conscious of when going out in Thailand. You can't just assume that every place you go, you can act, you can act the same.
No, I think it's what makes it fun here. You can be whoever you want to be here. Like who you were back home is not necessarily who you have to be here. And it's very difficult thing to do. Thank God for therapists, because so many of us go through life thinking we are the perfect version of ourselves. We're not. We're all works in progress. And it isn't until you can see yourself through somebody else's lens or through some other perspective that you start to see how problematic you can be. And then you can adjust and you can pivot. When you come here, especially as a single Black man, you are by yourself, because the community here, even though it's significantly larger now, it's small, very tiny. And even within that community, there are people you don't want to be around. You're like, yo, man, I don't like you. I don't trust you. I wouldn't even walk past you if we were back home. So you're not community to me. And when you get in that position out here, it gets lonely, really, really lonely. So you have two choices: either engage with that toxic identity or adjust to where you are. And there's a brother who I love, Stacy. His name's Stacy Martin. Stacy, I want to call him a content creator, but he owns a music production company here. Stacy's been here probably 3 years now, maybe 3 years, maybe a little bit longer. But when I look at his content, I just smile because I've seen him grow up here. And he's not young, he's in his 30s. But I've seen how he moves through the city, how he engages with Thai people. His Thai is fantastic. He's really putting the time into integrating himself into Thai culture and community. He's like, look, this is my home. I now have a business here. I have a family here. I'm trying to build my life here. And watching his content, it's wonderful to watch because he is a great example of a young brother that moved out here who didn't have anything, and he's building it from scratch, and Thai people love and respect him for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'll send it over to you. His name's Stacy Martin. Great guy.
Cool. What do you have coming up in the next few weeks or months?
A lot of food. I'm going to get, there's something happening in F&B. I think you've noticed a lot of closings. We have a lot of restaurants and bars closing, sadly. I think a lot of, well, the reason I'll get to some other time, but we have a lot of closings. So what I want to do is I want to support those restaurants, those bars, those small clubs who are doing phenomenal work over time, and get them the support that they need to stay open, right? I think Bangkok has turned into a city of openings. Every time you look up as content creators,
it's crazy,
this is open and this is open, and this is open. 6 months later, it's closed. So I want to support places that have been open. Funky Lamb. Have you been into Warehouse Talat Noi?
I've been to Talat Noi, but not Warehouse.
You got to go to the Warehouse. The Warehouse Talat Noi is my spot. The Clutch Bar is phenomenal. Electric Sheep, Funky Lamb, absolutely brilliant. Charm Gang, Charm Kroong, J Bang we talked about earlier. Just I went to RE 2 weekends ago, and I just forgot how much I love RE. Like I hadn't been to RE in maybe a year and a half. And when I first moved here, I used to go up there quite often because RE was what kind of Prakanoan is now a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of expats, a lot of cool little bohemian stuff popping up. So I'm gonna go back up there. I'm back training again. That's how I got this called an elbow in jiu-jitsu. I'm back training again and just exploring. I'm going to do a trip to Vietnam. I hadn't been to Vietnam since COVID. So I'm going to go probably do 3 weeks and go see what's going on in Vietnam. Trying to get back to Turkey soon. And yeah, most of the year is really going to be Thailand focused. I'm going home for Christmas. I haven't been back to the States. Bro, really? I haven't been back for Christmas, maybe 16, 17 years.
Wow.
Bro, I'm never home for Christmas, man. And literally, back in September, I went home back to Cleveland for the first time in almost 8 years.
Wow.
And it was bittersweet going home, man. Things have changed, man. It was funny. I was driving. I got a rental car, and it was for my sister's wedding. My little sister got married. So I'm just driving. I think I'm going to pick up my mom, and I see a big sign for ketamine. And I was like, what? Wait, what is going on here? I was like, y'all partying like that in Cleveland now? And it was like, oh no, like they legalized ketamine therapy now. So it was like a big thing in the U.S. now. I had no idea, man. But yeah, man, I was supposed to be going to Europe. It's crazy, Trump. I was supposed to be going back to Europe all of March, but Trump starts a war, and then my flights through Doha got canceled. So, and then we couldn't get it rescheduled in time for work. So, dealing with that. So maybe trying to find some time to get back to Europe, man. I love Berlin, man. Go party in Berlin. Yeah.
Cool. If people want to follow you, Minority Nomad on Instagram and YouTube, go check out especially your latest YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to check out Erick, I'll put all of his links down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.